Super Mayhem.
Hello friends, Tim here again with another quick video game countdown type thing. Pokemon Go has been getting a lot of attention recently from the media. The phenomenon has taken over the world and the game isn't even fully released yet. Strange and bizarre stories are reported alongside the game, with waves of news coming every time the game is released in a new country. Players have gotten into strange situations and have done some hilarious things on their quests to become the best Pokemon trainer possible. There are too many of these stories to count, and here is just a handful of them. These are 10 of the strangest Pokemon Go related news stories to be released so far. Number 10. Becoming a full-time Pokemon trainer. This news has been kind of expected by Pokemon fans, but it has shocked quite a few people. Tom Curry was the first person to make it into the news by quitting his job to become a full-time Pokemon trainer. It hasn't ended there though. He's received a job offer from Gamer Sensei to be their Pokemon trainer, where he would coach other players. There's even a possible documentary in the works about him and his journey. Pokemon Go currently only has 142 catchable Pokemon, but more will be added in the future. Number 9. Egg hatching hacks. In Pokemon Go, eggs can only be hatched by travelling a certain distance without going over a certain speed. Players literally need to walk or cycle to hatch them, or at least that was the idea. A number of players are being a little more creative and are attaching their phones to things that move automatically. Some of the most popular methods being reported include attaching the phone to a dog, ceiling fans, records, and even Roombat vacuum cleaners. Number 8. Players illegally enter America. 2 Canadian teenagers were so entranced with Pokemon Go that they were somehow able to illegally cross the border into America. They started their hunt in Coots, and around 1 hour later, when they looked up from their phones, they were in Montana. The list of strange things that people have done while playing Pokemon Go doesn't seem to have any limits. Number 7. Gunman shot while trying to rob players. Players getting robbed while playing Pokemon Go has been a fairly popular topic ever since it was initially released, but this is a first. A gunman tried to rob a group of players, but unfortunately for him, someone in the group had a concealed weapons permit. The would-be robber was shot and has now been arrested, however one of the players was also injured in the attack. Number 6. Local governments asked Niantic to remove Pokestops. Some governments are tired of the trouble it seems to follow the game. The road suburbs of Sydney had some serious problems where crowds of up to 1,000 players would fill a park, which was surrounded by high-density housing. When they first started appearing and creating a large amount of noise, the police were called to disperse them, but several days later the residents began throwing water balloons and eggs at the crowd. This isn't exclusive to Sydney. There are problems all over the world, and many local governments are asking Niantic to remove specific Pokestops. Number 5. Pokey Dates, the Pokemon Go themed dating service. The Pokemon Go phenomenon seems to be affecting everything, and now there's a Pokemon themed dating service, where people go on Pokey Dates with their matches. It uses a short questionnaire to match users, but if they actually want to go out on a date then they will need to pay $20 for each date. It's pretty expensive, but it's also Pokemon themed, so who knows how long Pokey Dates will stay active for. Currently the service is only available for the US, and the creators have plans to expand the service across the world. Number 4. Pokemon Stampedes. Players are literally stampeding for a chance to try and catch rare Pokemon. The most famous of these was the New York City Vaporeon Rush, where people abandoned their cars to run after the powerful Pokemon. The most recent one to make it into the news was the Sydney Porygon Rush, where hundreds of players crowded the streets, blocking cars and caused major traffic jams as they desperately tried to catch the rare Pokemon. Number 3. Marines catch a suspect. With all the bad news that news stations are reporting about Pokemon Go, it's nice to see some actual good news. 2 Marines were playing the game while out on the park, and when the game froze, they looked up from the game and noticed something. A man was going up to children at the park and acting all around creepy, so the 2 Marines went to investigate and called the police. It turned out that the man was actually wanted for an attempted murder charge. This might be one of the few times where the game crashing was actually a good thing. Number 2. Manchester United players banned from Pokemon Go near match day. The players of British football team Manchester United have been given a strange rule. They're not allowed to play Pokemon Go in the 48-hour period leading up to a game. This rule has come from the new manager, and it only seems to affect Pokemon Go. All other games are still unbanned. It's a pretty bizarre rule, and there's no comments yet about how he intends to enforce this either.
Number 1.
Player stabbed but continues to play. This is one of the strangest Pokemon Go stories around for a few different reasons. Michael Baker was out catching Pokemon at 1 AM and was stabbed by a man after asking him if he was playing the game. Instead of going to the hospital, he decided to keep looking for Pokemon and get some food, but was stopped in a convenience store and the police were called. Eventually he received medical treatment, even though he was adamant about playing the game. This is one very determined player who is making a full recovery and still hunting down Pokemon. Previously on Super Mayhem. What do you think the hardest video game decision would be? Today the Luigi clap goes to Red Blue 01 for this tough Pokemon choice idea. It seems fitting as I hear old Red Blue went on an epic quest over mountains and seas to become the ultimate Pokemon master. So that's pretty good as well as his comment. And today we'll leave you with the question, if you could name a new Pokemon, what would it be called? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and the best, most creative answer will be featured in one of our next videos. And that's it for today friends, I hope you enjoyed these Pokemon Go stories and things. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with your friends, keep those comments and likes coming, and I'll catch you soon.